Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadkamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sham He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhutair Mahadbir Yahima Purobhu Nirmaya Shete Yadamushu Purusha Bhute Gunam Shodasha Shodashatmaka Solang Krisishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Katha Amritam Satata Pipatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Panthanam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam. So Hare Krishna everyone. So welcome to Harekrishnatemple Viraja. So this part will discuss the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So it's a very important topic. Perfect questions, perfect answers. I remember going back to university days. At that time, Srimad Bhagavatam's second canto, which is used to be divided into 3 parts with a paperback copy. So it was very easy to carry. It was small, and somehow or the other, I had got it. And while I was traveling 1.5 hours to and from uni, I started reading that. And the first 5 verses of this that I read, and especially Srila Prabhupada's purport, had a very deep impression upon me. And we have just concluded, or about to conclude, the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is known as the king of all scriptures. And so there, that canto is about to end with a couple of questions. And then the second canto starts with the answers. And these answers are perfect because they're delivered by all perfect being, Sukadeva Goswami, who is a perfect devotee of the Lord. So, I guess when we look at this picture, the title, we see there Sukadeva Goswami on the bottom left, who is sitting on the Vyasa Asana, and then we have Maharaj Parikshit, who is on a lower platform, and he's asking perfect question, and Sukadeva Goswami is giving perfect answers. But on the top right-hand side, I put picture of Srila Prabhupada. Because if it wasn't for him and his explanation of these verses, I don't think I could have ever got as much insights as Krishna willing we can discuss today. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So, what was this perfect question? So, Maharaj Parikshit has been cursed to die in 7 days by a Brahmana. We won't go into the details of it. However, the punishment given to him, the curse, was very disproportionate to the offense he had committed. But Maharaj Parikshit, because he had committed an offense, he was very much regretful. And actually, even before the punishment came, he was praying to the Lord that I have done an offense, please give me a befitting punishment. And when the news came that the Brahmana boy against whose father you had committed an offense has cursed you to die in 7 days' time, Maharaj Parikshit accepted the curse joyfully. And he said, yes, this is a befitting punishment to be given to a king. In olden days, when king used to have the coronation, at that time, in the coronation, one part of the ritual is that they would be given a danda, a dharma danda, the stick of religiosity, from which they would then rule and administer punishment to anyone who has done wrong. At that part of the ceremony, when the stick is handed over to the king, then the king goes, Adandyosmi, 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 3 times. That I am the king, no one can punish me, I am Adandya. If someone does something wrong, I will punish them, but no one can punish me. But behind him, his spiritual master stands with the dharma danda, the stick of religiosity. And he, on his shoulder, taps 3 times. Dharma dandosi, dharma dandosi, dharma dandosi. That if you do something wrong, king, you are not unpunishable. It is actually the dharma, the principles of universal arrangement, which are directly under the control of the Supreme Lord Krishna, they will punish you. So the king were cognizant of this fact that they are not above the law. They may be administrators of the law, but they are within the jurisdiction of the law of the Supreme Lord. And therefore, they used to remain very humble. And Maharaj Parikshit was such a humble king. So immediately as he got the news of his death, he renounced the kingdom, handed over the kingdom to his son, and he went to the bank of Ganges in Hastinapur. And there, all the sages had assembled. And he posed this question to the sages. And these questions, Prabhupada says, are relevant questions. Why is it relevant question?
It is applicable to all of us.
Because yes, all of us, we have to die one day. So this is the question that Maharaj Parikshit is posing. O trustworthy Brahmanas, I now ask you about my immediate duty. Please, after proper deliberation, tell me of the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances. So there are 2 questions. 1, unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances. And second, and especially of those who are just about to die. So this question is relevant for all of us because of these 2 reasons. Because Maharaj Parikshit has not only contained the question to himself, but he has said, which is applicable for everyone at all time, but especially for those who are about to die. And guess what? As they say, as sure as death, everyone is about to die, including each one of us, though we don't think about it much. But in answers to this question, when Srila Shukadeva Goswami is about to begin, he really penetrates the hearts of everyone. So when giving obeisances to Shukadeva Goswami, Sud Goswami in the first canto says, Yahasvanubhavam akila shrutisara mekam. That Shukadeva Goswami, the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, who answers the perfect question of Maharaj Parikshit, he was Swa Anubhava, meaning it wasn't just a book learning. No, he had self-assimilated the learnings and put it in his own life. Akhila Shrutisara may come. He knew the essence of the king of all scriptures, Bhagavatam. And most importantly, Samsarina Karunayaha Purana Goyam. For Samsarinams, like all of us, we are caught in the cycle of birth and death. This is called samsara. Can I make one humble request? If everyone from there especially can move forward, because there is lots more devotees coming. I've just received message from Sahira Prabhu. People have finishing prasadam and they're all coming. Yes, please move forward, right forward. And from this side, we'll be using the board, the television. So please position yourself in a way that you can get this gem of instructions from Maharaj, from Sukadeva Goswami. So samsarina karunaya. So he was very merciful to those people caught in the cycle of birth and death. And he spoke this Purana Guhyam, the historical account, which is very, very Guhya, which wasn't available before. And that son of Vyasadeva, he says, I pay obeisances unto him. So Vyasadeva, he gave this knowledge to Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami was the most eligible of all persons to speak, because he was completely attached to Krishna and he was completely detached as a result of his attachment to Krishna from material association. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, only that person who is Krishna Tattva Vetti, who knows the science of Krishna consciousness, is able to be a guru. No one else has a right to be a guru. And here we have a perfect disciple in form of Parikshit Maharaj, and a perfect spiritual master in form of Sukadeva Goswami. So, let's hear the answer straight away. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Variyane Shate Prashnaha. Krito Loka Hitam Nipa. Atmavid Sammata Pumsam. Shrotavyadeshu ya paraha. Shrotavyadi nirajendra. Ninam santi sahasrasaha. Apashyatam tattvam. Griheshu grihamedhinam. Nidraya hriyate naktam. Vyavavayena chavayaha. Divacharthe daya rajan. Kutumba bharanena va. Dehapatya kaladradishu. Atma sanyeshva satsvapi. Tesham pramatto nidhanam. Pashyannapi na pashyati. Tasmad bharata sarvatma. Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi. Shrotavya kirtitavyascha. Smaratavyascha Ichatha bhayam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So quickly, what were the two questions that Parikshit Maharaj asked?
What is the duty of everyone? And second, what is duty, especially who is born to die?
Yes. So what is the duty of everyone in all circumstances, and especially of those who are about to die? And how does Shukdev Goswami answer? Variyane shate prashnaha. Your prashna, your question is variyan, glorious. Why? Because answer to that question is krita loka hitam nipa. Hitam means beneficial, because it will benefit everyone throughout the universe. Atmavid sammataha pumsam. Atmavid means those who are situated in the science of soul. So this is the equation, that we are not the body, we are the spirit soul. And therefore everything pertaining to the spirit soul is of importance. The body is sure to come to an end. But the most important thing is the spirit. And therefore questions about the spirit, Shrotavyadishu yaha paraha, is the prime subject matter for hearing and singing. Please repeat the translation. Sri Shukdev Goswami said, My dear king, your question is glorious because it is very beneficial to all kinds of people. The answer to this question is the prime subject matter for hearing, and it is approved by all transcendentalists. So generally, when people talk about death, they think it's a negative thing, so don't talk about it. But Bhagavad Gita says it is a problem. There are 4 kinds of miseries: Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, birth, death, old age and disease. And why it is a problem? Scriptures say for a problem to be a problem, 3 conditions it has to meet. First, that no one wants it. No one wants to die. Second, no one can avoid it. Everyone has to die. Third, everyone has to go through it, although they don't want it. So these 4 problems, therefore, are universal problems. And human life is especially meant to solve these problems. The rest of the questions that we are going on asking, Srila Prabhupada mentions in the paper, that from the mornings we hear questions and answers. Early in the morning, the birds are chirping, they're asking questions, and some other bird is answering. As soon as a radio is turned on, the questions and answers are there. The parents wake the children up asking questions. The children ask the questions to their parents. In the parliament, the politicians ask questions to each other, and the politicians give the answers. The doctors ask the patients questions. The patients answer, and the patients in turn ask the doctors questions, and they answer. In the school, the professors, the teachers, they ask questions. The students ask questions. So this reciprocal of question and answer is going on and on and on endlessly. Life is full of questions and answers. But what is the most relevant question and what is the perfect answer? That subject matter is discussed here. And therefore, we should pay attention to this question and this answer, because it will make our life successful if we are able to follow the answer to the question. So, as I was reading these verses, the purport of Srila Prabhupada is so beautiful. I was thinking, what do I need to speak in this class? Just read the purport of Srila Prabhupada. So as much as possible, I will try to do that. So Prabhupada in the purport says, even the very question is so nice that it is the best subject matter for hearing. Simply by such questioning and hearing, one can achieve highest perfectional stage of life. Also, simply by hearing, we can achieve highest perfectional stage of life. Because Lord Krishna is the Supreme Person, any question about Him is original and perfect. Because everything is about Lord Krishna. Even in the first canto, second chapter, when the sages there asked question, Sud Goswami is there, he says, Muniyaha sadhu prishtoham. That all sages, your questions are beautiful. Sadhu, sadhu. Why? Bhavatbhir loka mangalam. Because it will be loka mangalam. It will benefit everyone throughout the universe. Why? Yat krita Krishna samprashno. Because these prashnas, these questions are in relation to Krishna. And because they are in relation to Krishna, yenatma suprasidati, it can satisfy the soul. And this is what Srila Prabhupada is saying here in purport. That questions about Him, Krishna, is original and perfect. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that the highest perfection of life is to achieve the transcendental loving service of Krishna. Because questions and answers about Krishna elevate one to the transcendental position, the questions of Maharaj Parikshit about Krishna philosophy are greatly glorified. Varyaneshate prashna. Because Maharaj Parikshit wanted to absorb his mind completely in Krishna, and such absorption can be effected simply by hearing about the uncommon activities of Krishna. So Maharaj Parikshit was now at the tail end of his life. Death was pending. So he wanted to absorb his mind in Krishna. But how can one absorb their minds in Krishna? By first hearing about Krishna. Because whatever we hear, that we will be able to always meditate on. So hearing about Krishna is the first process of devotional service known as Shravanam. For instance, in Bhagavad Gita it is stated that simply by understanding the transcendental nature of Krishna's appearance and disappearance and activities, one can immediately return home back to Godhead and never come back to the miserable condition of existence. So this condition of existence is miserable. Why? Because we are going around in the cycle of birth, death, old age and disease. Adi Shankara says, Punarapi Jananam, taking birth again. And then Punarapi Maranam, dying again. After dying, Punarapi Janani Jathare Shayanam. And we are sleeping, lying in the mother's womb. Iha samsare bahudusatare. This is samsara. And it is very, very miserable, troublesome and cruel. Bahudustare. And then he prays. Kripiya pare, pahe murare. But Murari, you are able to lift me from this ocean of birth and death and take me out from it. So more we hear about Krishna, His transcendental name, His pastimes, His glories, the more we will be able to remember Him. his beautiful form, Smeram, Krishna is always smiling. Bhangi Traya Parichitam, he's bent from three parts of his body, from neck, from waist and from knees. Sachi Vistirna Drashtim, Krishna is giving a Broadway look, side glance, calling us. Vamshi Nyas Adaraha, he's holding a flute on his hand and blowing nectar from his lips. Keshi Tirtha Upakante, he's standing on the banks of river known as Keshi Ghat. Ujvalam Chandra Kena, in a full moon night, the rays of the moons are shining on his body. And this boy, his name is Govindakyam Harihi Tanumitam. Govinda. And he's calling us, yes, come to me, because I will end this cycle of birth and death. Simply by hearing about him and his pastimes, we can completely become absorbed in him, and all the miseries of material existence, although they may be there, but we become immune from that. It is very auspicious, therefore, to hear always about Krishna. So Maharaj Parikshit requested Shukdev Goswami to narrate the activities of Krishna so that he could engage his mind in Krishna. The activities of Krishna are non-different from Krishna. As long as one is engaged in hearing such transcendental activities of Krishna, he remains aloof from the conditional life of material existence. So, the conditional life of material existence is there, but one will remain aloof from it as long as one remembers Krishna. Even the gopis sing glories of Krishna Katha. They say, Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadattatam Bhuvi Grunantiye Bhuridajana. Our jivana, our life is tapta. Tapta means we are always burning in misery. But Krishna Katha pours water on our life, which is burning like forest fire. And therefore, hearing Krishna Katha is auspicious, Shravana Mangalam. And glorious are those personalities who broadcast this Katha. And Srila Prabhupada is foremost of this personality who has given us access. Just see, such a beautiful Bhava Artha purport is there of this verse. Now without this purport, what would we make out of these questions? The topics of Lord Krishna are so auspicious that they purify the speaker, the hearer, and the inquirer. So three people get benefit. One who asks the question, one who gives answers to the question, and everyone who listens to the question. So all the sages assemble in that near the banks of Ganges, they all get benefit due to the questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj. They are compared to Ganges waters which flow from the toe of Lord Krishna. Wherever the Ganges waters go, they purify the land and the person who bathes in them. Similarly, Krishna Katha or topics of Krishna are so pure that wherever they are spoken, the place, the hearer, the inquirer, the speaker, and all concerned become purified. And this is our only purpose. We put on a good show to attract everyone. But the main purpose is that if you are not able to sit here and listen to the Katha, Krishna Katha, his pastimes, and participate in singing the glories of Hare Krishna and glorify their lordships, then actually everything else is a waste. Everything else has meaning if you are able to sit down here and listen to Krishna Katha and chant his names. Bhaktivedanta purport ki. So hearing about Krishna is most important. And what does Shukdev Goswami say? The reality of life is quite the opposite. And therefore, he gives us some chastisement. Shrotavyadini Rajendra Ninam Santi Sahasrasaha Appashyatam Atma Tattvam Griheshu Grahamedinam. Please repeat. Those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society, O Emperor. So Shrotavyadini Rajendra. Rajendra is the king, Parikshit Maharaj. Shrotavyadini means many subject matters, or subject matters for hearing. Ninam Santi Sahasrasa. Sahasrasa means thousands. So we keep on hearing about 1,000 subject matters. But Apashyatam Atma Tattvam. If those questions do not relate to Atma Tattvam, to the spirit soul, and the super soul, Paramatma, Krishna, then they are of no value. No matter how much we spend time in asking questions and answering questions on matter, if it is not related to spirit, apashyatam atma tattvam, it is not related to atma tattva, then ultimately it is sheer waste. Later on it is mentioned, Mrisha girastahi asatira satkatha, na katyate yad bhagavan adhokshaja. If it is not, katha is not related to Krishna, adhokshaja, then it is asatir katha. It is untrue and it is temporary and it is of no value. But Krishna katha, tadaiva satyam, it is true. It is truth, only truth. Tadaiva punyam, it is only piety. And tadyuhaiva mangalam, and it is only auspicious. Bhagavad gunodayam. And therefore, these guna, qualities of Bhagavan, they have to be glorified. And nothing else. So Srila Prabhupada here explains, because there is this word here, griheshu grahamedhinam. So there are two types of nomenclatures Prabhupada mentions. That one is grahastha, who enters the grahastha ashram. So people generally think, okay, we have got married, now we are entering grahastha ashram. But ashram means where we take shelter, ashraya. But if one, after getting married, does not take ashraya of Krishna and Krishna's devotees, then he is mentioned here as grahamedhi. Grahamedhi also refers to goat. So the goat, just after a bit of green grass, he keeps eating. But there is a line and he says that the other goat is caught by the owner and his head has been chopped off. But still this goat does not think one day my head will also be chopped off. He keeps, just for the sake of a little bit of green grass, keeps eating. And one day his demise also comes. So such a person is called Grahamedhi. So Grahamedhis are those who only live for the benefit of family members, extended or centralized, and thus are envious of others. This is the main quality of the people generally in Kali Yuga. They get married only for the purpose of sense gratification. Why? Because I like you, I saw you, and somehow love happened, We don't know whether it's love or not. In all circumstances, they say, as Gaur Gopal humorously says, love at first sight, divorce at first fight. Our, thing of the so-called love is so shallow. And it is based on envy. I see, I want, and I will get it. And for that, we fight. One family fights against another, one person fights against another, one community fights against another, one town fights against another, one city fights against another, one country fights against another. In this way, this fight is extended throughout the world because of this envy, that one is not able to accept everyone is a living soul and everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna. This mentality of Grahamadi, yes, all is mine and I want to have it now, is destroying our human race. In age of Kali, all householders are jealous of one another because they are blind of knowledge of ultimate truth. Yes, she has a nice sari, I want that. He has a nice car, I want to have that car. They have a nice job, why don't I have that job? This jealousy is going on and on. This is Grahamadi mentality. See the purports of Srila Prabhupada, so wonderful. It shows us a mirror, who we are. To some extent, every one of us is an affected victim and a culprit of what Prabhupada is saying here. Think deeply. I know, I am. They have many subject matters for hearing, political, scientific, social, economic, and so on. But due to poor fund of knowledge, they set aside the question of ultimate miseries of life, namely miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. Shrotavyani Rajendra Ninam Santiri Sahasratam. We talk about many subject matters, but apashyatam atma tattvam. But regarding ending the cycle of birth and death, because of recognizing, yes, Atma, we are spirit souls. Questions about that? No. No one will ask. What to speak? Ask. No one knows. I remember many years ago I spoke to my, young teenage cousin, and I asked her, what do you understand by the word spiritual? And she gave a blank look to me. What does that even mean? Is there such a word? And she, so-called, was a very intelligent person. But no. Why? Because this education is not given in schools. Only movements like this are giving this education. So, Prabhupada used to say, the modern day schooling system is butcher house, where we send children and they are slaughtered there. Why? Because they are taught everything about political science, economical development, money, external body, medicine, but they are not told about the real thing, the spirit soul. And this science is taught in Prabhupada's books. Therefore, we should, if any book we should have, is this book, Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. No other book actually will save us. So Prabhupada goes on to say, the process of going back home, back to Godhead, is to hear about the Supreme Lord, His name, form, attributes, pastimes, paraphernalia, and Viraja. Foolish people do not know this. They want to hear something about name, form, etc. of everything temporary, and they do not know how to utilize this propensity of hearing for the ultimate good. So Krishna Katha is so nice. Prabhupada says that anyone, if they hear, they will become attracted. Nivritta tarshair upagiyamanam bhavo sadat shotra manobhirama. He says three categories here. One who is completely free from material attachment, nivritta tarshair. Upagiyamanam bhavo sadat. One who is suffering in material existence and who needs solution to their problem. So Krishna Katha adds as Aushadhi. Aushadhi means medicine. So Krishna Katha will cure the miserable condition of life. We don't want to end doctor's business, but this is true. Doctor's business will reduce when we take Krishna Aushadhi, Krishna medicine. Because health will naturally restore. People will die naturally, Bhavo Shadat. And Shotra Manobhiramat, even from the point of view of mental pleasure, enlightenment of mind. People say, I'm bored. Let's do something. For even that person's Manobhiramat, Krishna Katha will give pleasure. So much is there in Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha is, Krishna himself is the supreme personality of Godhead. Prabhupada says, he is the lover of Radharani. And he is extending his love throughout his encounter with various devotees. If you are thrilled by a nice romantic story, there is no better story than Krishna kidnapping Rukmani, 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and how he defeats all other soldiers. Everything there is in Krishna book and more. And anywhere else you won't find this. But at least we have to pick it up and read. This is only possible if we do it in association of devotees. And therefore these kind of forums are there. One should not therefore become a Grahamadi. Simply to exist for envying others, one should become real householder in terms of scriptural injunctions. So let's become a real grahastha by taking ashray of Krishna, Krishna Katha and Krishna Naam. But what does a Grahamadi do? Day and night, he explains. Nidraya riyate naktam Vyavayena cha vavayaha Divacharte haya rajan Kutumba bharane nava. The lifetime of such an envious householder already sleeping. The lifetime of such an envious householder is passed at night, either in sleeping or in sex indulgence, and in the daytime, either in making money or maintaining family members. This is the sweetness of Grahamadis. Sleep as much as possible, mate as much as possible, and only work hard whatever is needed, like a donkey. So I've deliberately picked these pictures there. So the life promises us, yes, work hard, get money, and you'll be happy at the end. It's like a carrot dangling in front of a donkey. And we are those donkeys. We think, yes, one day mortgage will be paid off. One day, yes, I'll be able to make my husband happy, my wife happy. One day. One day, children will get educated nicely. They will be settled. All these we have, what we call our key performance indicators. Yes, we'll do this, and after that, we'll be happy. But happiness eludes everyone if this formula we are following. Happiness is only the domain of Krishna and Krishna Bhakti and Krishna devotees. Prabhupada once was walking by and looked at all the skyscrapers. You see the skyscrapers in the second picture. And he looked up and he said, simply sex. The devotees were startled. What, Prabhupada? simply sex. All this arrangement, big buildings, big houses, all this is simply so that man can attract the opposite gender. And the female want the luxuries of life, comfort of life, and to fulfill their demand, men will do that. And if that is not there, then like a she-donkey, the female will kick the male donkey. The male donkey's ego is boosted when the female says, yes, you are my husband, you are my protector, I depend on you, you work and I am happy. But when that doesn't happen, what does the she-donkey do? Kicks. That she-donkey is known for kicking a male donkey when the male donkey goes to the she-donkey, especially for mating. Kick. No, go work. No mating. So this is how the whole thing is going on. And Nidraya hriyate naktam. Perfection of life is sleeping at night. Or vyapavena chavavayaha, or mating. And then one day dropping dead. They say pictures tell 1,000 words. Work hard. Why? Because happiness is just around the corner. Earn more money. Why? Because happiness is just around the corner. Buy more things. Because happiness is just around the corner. We think, well, I buy this, I'll be happy. It has happened to me. I thought, 14 years of age, when I'll get this tennis racket that Stefan Edberg used, and he won the, the Wimbledon. I'll be the happiest person. Never again, oh Krishna, I'll ask for anything else. Keep going, because happiness is just around the corner. Material world works on asha pasha. Asha pasha means, pasha means bondage and asha means hope. It gives false hope. This is material world. It gives false hope. But Srimad Bhagavatam smashes the false hope and gives us the real thing that will give us happiness. And that is love for Krishna. And it gives us vision so that we can see that. And Srimad Bhagavatam tells us in the 4th verse, then Shukdev Goswami says, Deha patya kaladradishu Atma sanyeshu asatsvapi Tesham pramatva nidanam Pashyannapi na pashyati. This was one of my favorite verses. Persons devoid of Atma Tattva do not inquire into the problems of life. Being too attached to the fallible soldiers, like the body, children and wife, although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction. Deha, body, apatya, children, kalatra, wife, adishu, and everything in relation to that. What we think? Atma sanyeshu. Sanyeshu means soldier. We are like soldiers. We think we can protect all these things. Wife, children, and like house, bank balance, we can protect it. But this is asatsvapi. We cannot protect. Why? Because nidhanam. Nidhanam means our own demise is around the corner. But although we see others are dying every day, ahani ahani bhutani gachanti iha yamalayam. People are going to the abode of Lord of Death, Yamaraj, but sheshastharavaricchanti. We think our position is secure. I won't die. And this is called in Bhagavatam, Tesham Pramattaha. Pramattaha means insane. Pagal. Pagalai gayo. Mad. Shukdev Goswami is saying, in effect, yes, we all are mad if we are not deeply engrossed in this subject matter. That we think that I'm Atma Sanyeshu, I'll protect. I am capable of protecting everyone. We are not able to protect Deha, our own body. One day the body will bite the dust. Pashyan api na pashyati. Although we see around us everyone dying, but we na pashyati. We think it will not happen to us. And there is a nice saying. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight and no vision. And this is what people in general have. We are looking, but we have no vision that where our path of life is going. Therefore, we have to turn to Krishna and his devotees and accept the path of Krishna consciousness. And this is the solution that Shukdev Goswami gives. Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smaratavyasche Chata Bhayam Smaratavyascha Ichchata Bhayam. O descendant of King Bharata, one who desires to be free from all miseries. So we all desire to be free from all miseries. And therefore, what we should do? Must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller, and the savior of all, and the savior from all miseries. So Krishna, who is known as Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ishvara means he can control everything. And he is Harihi, he can give us relief from miseries. Harihi means one who takes away the miseries. He can give us immunity from fear, bhayam. So Ichchata abhayam. So do you have Ichcha, desire to be fearless?
Yes.
Do you have desire to be fearless?
Yes.
Then this formula Shukdev Goswami says you should follow. Smaratav Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha. Hear about Krishna, Bhagavan. Kirtitavyascha. Glorify Krishna. Jai Shri Shri Radhagiri Govardhan ki. Smaratavyash. Hear about Krishna, his pastimes. Yadi Ichchata Abhayam. You desire to be fearless. Because everyone is afraid of death. I know I am afraid of death. But if we really want to be not afraid of dying, we all have to die. So we all have to see death in the face. But when death comes, instead of being defeated by death, we want to gain victory over death so that not to be born again. Then this is an invincible formula. Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Shrotavya kirtitavyascha Smaratavyascha Ichchata Bhayam. So please, if you don't have Srimad Bhagavatam, get one. And please, these 5 verses, go back and read, because there's no way I have done justice to what Prabhupada has written in the paper. I haven't been able to read everything. But let's end by this, looking at this nice verse that Kulshekar Maharaj says for ending the cycle of birth, death, old age and disease. He says, "O people, please hear of this treatment for the disease of birth and death. It is the name of Krishna, recommended by Yagnavalkya and other expert yogis, steeped in wisdom. This boundless, eternal inner light is the best medicine. For when drunk, it bestows complete and final liberation. Just drink it." So now let's just drink the nectar of Krishna's name by nicely chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I always do this, don't leave any time for question and answer, but please see me after the Aarti if you have any pressing questions. We can all